Now let's talk about props. So these are items that assist you in your practice, right? They help, I always like to say they help bring the floor up to us, because the floor can be hard. And sometimes anatomically we can't reach the floor in certain postures. Each body is different and was created for a purpose, right? We're not called to be everything. It's not about where we are in the posture. It's about breathing where we are, recognizing that through breath we can connect with God, whatever life brings us, right? And the postures just represent the circumstances of life. Some of them can be very supportive, some of them can be uncomfortable, and some of them can be triggering, right? So the props help us feel God's presence, right? Feel that support. So let's go over some of the props that we're going to be using during this 40 days. Now, any of the props that I suggest, I'll also offer things that you can find in your home. So on your bed or on your couch, in your bathroom. So don't worry about going out and buying anything. Everything that you need should be just in your home. So the first thing is a blanket. I like to sit on a blanket for both support, as we will be seated for some of the practices for quite some time, and I also like it for warmth. I tend to get really cold, and when we're doing some of the lying postures or postures where we're in them for quite some time, your body temperature will drop. So if you tend to get cold, blankets are going to be your friend, as well as socks. Also, padding. They offer great padding for your knees, for your hips when we're doing some of the lying down postures or kneeling postures. Also, a mat. Now, you don't have to have a yoga mat or an exercise mat, anything like that. You can do it on a carpet. I just recommend that if you are doing it on a carpet or a rug, make sure that you feel very secure on it. You're not slipping. We don't want anybody getting hurt. So make sure that the rug or the carpet is very supportive. Next is, if you don't have blankets for support or comfort, always towels, right? Beach towels, bath towels, those always work really nice to roll up as a bolster, to lie flat to comfort the knees or the hips, and you can also cover up with them. So they're really very, very versatile. Also, a bath mat is also a good knee and hip supporter, and also a mat to sit on if you don't have a blanket handy. Let's see. We will be sitting for quite some time, so I sit on a meditation cushion. So if meditation or contemplative prayer is part of your practice, you can sit on a cushion for that practice. If you don't have one of these, no worries. You can just grab some pillows from your couch, right? Pillows or cushions from your couch. The other thing that pillows are good for is if when you're seated in a cross-legged position, your knees don't touch the ground, you can just put the pillow right up underneath on both knees. You can also roll the blanket over, which is also nice to support the knees. The next thing is, you probably heard it crash here in my bin, is blocks. So these are really good for bringing the floor to you. But if you do not have blocks, you can use just some books. So you can see that they're really almost as tall as the blocks. So just for support of your hands when you can't reach the floor. Again, even under the knees when you're seated, it's nice to have the block or the books. So either way is really nice. Okay, let's talk about finding a comfortable seat. So in each practice, each day of the 40 days, we will begin seated to tune in prayer. So you'll want to be comfortable. So there's a few things to help you to do so. So you want to sit up either on a cushion or a pillow and in a cross-legged seat, and you can sit with just kind of crisscross applesauce, or you can sit with the legs a little more extended. It's really what you find comfortable. But the number one thing is you want to sit on the edge of your cushion or pillow. So I'll turn to the side so you can see this. And the reason that you want to do this, so you want to come to the edge, there's a lot of cushion behind me you can see. And the reason that you want to do this is because it gets the hips above the knees. And this helps with the blood circulation in the legs. We will be seated for quite some time in some of the practices, and we don't want any legs falling asleep. So it's all about inviting God, right? Accepting His invitation to friendship, listening for His voice. And if our legs are tingly, it's really hard to listen. So we want to sit up nice and tall. So the best visual that I have for this is I love to pretend there's a string attached to the top of my head, and God's almost pulling me upward to attention. Like, okay, now it's our time, right? We're going to spend some time together. So I always love to visualize this string at the top and Him kind of pulling me upward. So that will help you put your shoulders over your hips and your ears over your shoulders and a nice tall spine so that you can be really supported in this position. And your hands can just be on your legs anywhere, or you can gather them in your lap, wherever you feel most comfortable. And you can also find a seat. If this is not comfortable for you, you can sit up against a wall or in a chair, and just on the edge of the chair, which I will demo for you. And as a final thought, I will be praying for you the entire 40 days. I look forward to meeting all of you in our live calls and chatting with you in the Facebook group. Thank you so much for joining us and practicing with me. And I hope you are filled with peace during these 40 days. And I hope that your friendship and God's is enkindled. Thank you. Amen.